What's up, guys? So good, and the highest attended event ever. Obviously sold out. The gate was 137,000. Performance bonuses go to Housley, Blackburn, DeBell, and Rivero. And something new that they all get 10,000. And the crypto Bitcoin bonus of the night goes to Blackburn. He gets $10,000 in crypto. So congratulations to all those guys. What's up?
Can you just give me your overall thoughts on the card tonight?
It was awesome. I mean, the fouling is a problem that is going to have to be dealt with and addressed with the athletic commission. I think that we figure out some new rule changes, and we're 7 shows in, so I'm so happy with so many different things about obviously the growth of the business and the sport, the numbers that we pull, the production, which I cannot stop talking about. The production team is off the charts with this thing, but we got to tighten up the sport a little bit. I literally just saw my boy out in the hallway there that didn't make weight. Talked to him, about being professional, and we got some work to do.
You mentioned it's only the 7th card. You're about to celebrate 300, UFC 300. When you look at Power Slap, and can you think ahead, obviously not Power Slap 300 yet, but maybe Power Slap 50 or Power Slap 100, where do you see it at that point?
I always tell you guys I'm always the person that's looking forward. I'm not looking that far forward. I mean, we got to look at what we liked and what we didn't like about tonight. Go back to the drawing board and tighten the ship up and figure out some answers to some of the problems that we had this evening.
Would one of those answers potentially be having more events? Because I feel like maybe just
100%. Yeah, Lorenzo is chomping at the bit for more events. That's what Lorenzo does. It's just like when the UFC started. We had 5 events a year, and you're looking at yourself going, "Oh man, how are we going to do more than this?" And we figure it out. And it starts to grow. But yeah, we definitely know we need more events, and we want more events.
And you've talked about going on the road soon. Do you have any update on when that might happen?
No, not all these states keep opening up. Did we announce the one that just, or is that happening now? Huh? Yeah, we'll announce in another state next week. So states are all starting to pop open. By the end of this year, we'll be in every major place that you would hold an event. And then we're sort of putting together a game plan right now on where to go. I'm assuming the first place we would go when it opens up would be Texas. I think we'll do Texas first. We definitely want to go to Hawaii. We've never been able to do a UFC event in Hawaii, so to be able to go there with Power Slap would be amazing. Yeah, Florida, California.
Last one for me. You guys announced tonight there'll be a June event. Would that coincide with International Fight Week?
I'm sorry?
It sounded like tonight you had announced a June event, but there was no specific date. Would that potentially be for International Fight Week?
What was it? June. Next. Oh, June. Yeah. Sorry. I don't hear well. Yes. International Fight Week will be doing another one. Yeah.
And could that potentially be a UFC card headlined by Conor McGregor?
I saw the post. I don't know what the Teletubby means, but it could be. Yeah. Hopefully. That's what we want to do.
Dana, you mentioned that it's just Power Slap 7, right? And still got a lot of kinks to work out. But every single event you come in here and you've mentioned, hey, I'm ready to look at the film and go right back to work and correct things. Is it frustrating that some of the things we saw tonight might be a step backwards because we've seen cleaner cards in the first 6? This is the stuff should maybe happen in 1 and 2. Is that frustrating for you? Or?
Yeah, no, I think it's hit or miss, and I agree with her that we need more events. The refs need more reps. We got to figure some things out, and again, 7 events in. If you go back and look at the shit we were doing in UFC, we were letting off fireworks and shit. You know what I mean? We were doing all this pyro stuff and trying to figure out kind of who we were and what we were going to be over the next 10 years. And there's a lot of trial and error. We're way ahead of that curve now here. Tonight what I did, I went outside and I watched 1 fight. But I stayed in the back tonight and watched the whole TV production. This product is so fucking good on TV. It's unbelievable. So on our live event. I mean, I don't know. You guys were out there all night. The energy and the buzz and these things, and it's like being at a party. It's a fun live event, and it's beautiful on television. So there are some, the rules and the refs and, the athletes. There's some things that need to be worked on, but that's not shocking with 7 events on a brand new sport that was literally built, within the last couple of years.
Just wanted to ask you, follow up on, you said in the last event or maybe the event before that you were commending the commission, that they did well, and now tonight there's things we have to work on. So
well, I'm not saying that the commission did anything wrong tonight. I'm saying when you look at the sport itself and you look at the rules, I mean, we're still figuring this thing out, and so are they. By no means did I say anything bad about the commission. Listen, these guys, this is brand new. And if you look at the way they're handling this thing, it's been phenomenal, to be honest with you. The problem is going to be, the bigger problem is if we don't have our shit together, in my opinion, before we start traveling. And you start, when you go to these other states, we'll travel some of these guys, but you'll also use some of the guys in their state. And you see how that works right now with MMA. Imagine with this. It'd be a complete shit show.
And can I get a comment on DeBell and how good he looked in that fight?
Incredible. I mean, that guy is an absolute stud. And not just the way he knocked him out tonight, but who he knocked out. I mean, he's one of the best in the sport and never been dropped. And what a brutal knockout that was tonight. So he is the real deal. And he's young. He's a guy that could possibly become a huge star in this thing.
And then last question, since she asked you about Conor, let me just ask you, the John Jones drug testing situation, do you know anything and do you have any comment on that, what happened?
No. No. I mean, I think that thing's going to play out legally, however it is. I think you saw that he posted footage. But again, the fact that anybody posted, NBC News posted that he was arrested. NBC News, we're not talking about fucking, one of these .coms. It's just, I don't know, man, it's crazy. You know how I get about this stuff. But when NBC, anybody in this room wants to hear what I have to say right now, that I promise you. But when NBC News is doing it, fucking wow. But anyway, shouldn't ask me that question, Kevin. Go ahead.
Dana over here. I know we're only on Power Slap 7, but you're super high on the production value and the way the events have been going. Is there anything about putting these events on that changes the way you look at UFC broadcasts, or anything you learned from this that you'd apply there? No,
it would be the exact opposite. I think everything that we've done over the last 23 years with UFC has got us to where, this flawless, incredible production that we have on Power Slap. It's just, I was literally just with our producer in the back again, and I said, I can't tell you enough how incredible the production is. It's unbelievable. Think about, I said this to you guys before, but I would love to see the first 7 shows that the NFL ever did. The first 7 shows that the NBA ever did. I mean, we know what Showtime fucking boxing looked like after fucking a million shows. The shittiest production in the history of fucking television. HBO, which was looked at as the gold standard, Power Slap, in my opinion, blows that out of the water too. So.
We had tons of WWE talent in the building tonight. Also rumblings that WWE may possibly want to run an event at the Apex. Can you tell us anything about the way the TKO partnership has been going?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. And all these wrestlers wanted to come and see this tonight. I love it, and I appreciate the support. And yeah, you probably could see a WWE match in the Apex too.
Final one from me. Can we expect any surprises at UFC 300 tomorrow?
No, I don't think there's any surprises. I know what you're talking about, and it's all internet bullshit. When I can honestly sit here right now and tell you we do not have a deal done for the Conor fight. So I know there's lots of rumblings. People expect the fucking place to go black and some big announcement. They're expecting them to walk out. Yes, it's all internet bullshit, like NBC News.
Dana White over here.
Yeah.
Congratulations on another great event.
Thank you.
So I had a question for you, and it's going to be kind of a silly one probably to you, but when are we going to have celebrity crossovers, like crossovers with like UFC, WWE, celebrities? My 70-year-old mother was actually watching, and she wants Donald Trump to pretty much slap every politician on the planet. But when are we going to get the crossovers and open up the Power Slap multiverse with all these different entities that you're working with?
Sooner than you think.
Sweet.
Yeah, sooner than you think.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Get over here. I know you're more familiar than anyone about the feel-good stories in combat sports amongst UFC and even here in Power Slap. But Anthony Blackburn, who participated today, got let go by his pizza restaurant before his match. Yeah, he also said they owe him a check, and he went out there and beat the guy who just fought for the title. So is that the type of feel-good story that you'd like to see out here?
News to me said Blackburn got fired by his job a few days ago, and he won tonight and won 2 bonuses.
Oh, good for him. Sounds like he was highly motivated, though.
Yeah, they said they owe him a check at his old place.
His check was what?
They said he made, I think he made over 30 grand.
Oh, yeah. Listen, there's money in this. You know what I mean? There's guys out there. Kevin called me about his interview with Turp, and Turp was talking about how the sport has changed his life in just a short amount of time. He said, basically, and I quote, "My life sucked a year ago." So I think that, you know, not just in slap, but in combat sports in general, you see a lot of people that aren't built the way that these people are and don't realize where they come from and what some of these people have gone through, that this is a huge opportunity for some. So it sounds like Blackburn is one of those people too. So people that have the guts and are motivated enough to come in and try something like this, there's a lot of money to be made.
Dana over here.
Yeah.
A lot of shocking outcomes tonight. KO Chris gets KO'd
Yeah.
2 times in a row. Austin Turpin takes out Wolverine. What are some of the big highlights and shocks for you?
Yeah, I would say KO Chris was definitely one of them. Vicious knockout. And then obviously the way Ryan got knocked out, you know, probably my top 2.
Do you think on the Power Slap number 8, will we see a trilogy for the first time in Power Slap?
Probably. That makes sense. It's the first thing I said tonight, too. That's why I just talked to Turp and told him, you need to start taking this shit serious, man. You should have the belt right now, but you don't. And we went through this shit early on in the UFC, too.
Once again,
It's great. You start making money and all the things that he said to Kevin, but you have to be a professional. You have to show up and you have to make weight. I mean, the perfect example is if you look at UFC 300, you know what I mean? Not one person, fucking shoot my big mouth off here tonight. Not one person has fallen off the card and everybody made weight. So it is just like absolute excellence going into this event tomorrow night.
once again, for the second straight card, we're seeing some DQ finishes. Is there anything going on behind the scenes to try and clean that up?
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about earlier. We're trying to, you know, we got to dial this thing in better and start working with the commission more on maybe changing some of the rules or, you know, how this thing plays out. But it's all still a work in progress. It's completely normal when you have a new sport like this.
One last one. Anything you could share with us for Road to the Title 3?
Am I going to share with you what?
Is there anything you could share with us on Road to the Title 3?
No, we're not even really into that yet. When we get that put together,
Awesome. Thank you.
welcome. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
And apologies for my ignorance. This is my first Power Slap event. So when you say you have to work through these things and kind of fix the rules and stuff, what goes into that? Is that doing dry runs? Is that just meetings behind closed doors? Like what?
Yeah,
goes into
it's Frank and Hunter working with the athletic commission and trying to figure out how to improve the rules or the timing on recovery or, you know, these kind of things. And it's honestly the refs and the doctors feeling more comfortable with whether a guy can continue or not, and does he get more time? Like in boxing, you get the 10 count, and you have to pull yourself together, and if the ref still thinks you're not ready to compete, then you don't. You know, maybe we do a 10 count. I don't know, but these are all little things that need to be kicked around and worked out.
Do you attribute that to like you said, the referees? Like this is a new sport, and maybe they're just I don't know, nervous of messing up in such an early age?
100%. I mean, when you think about the UFC, think about 30 years of the UFC. Again, never a death or serious injury in the history of this company, right? Because we overspend on all the medicals to make sure that everybody is good. When a doctor says, when we just watched the fight that we think was crazy, and the doctor says, no, they're good, they don't go to the hospital, we say, send them to the hospital anyway. We don't give a shit what it costs. Send them to the hospital, run them through all the tests. That's how you make sure everybody's safe and healthy, right? But when we were first starting to try to launch the UFC and get it out there, networks wouldn't even put it on television because they were so afraid of what could possibly happen in a fight. And until you have all the data, you know, after doing multiple events, where people start to feel comfortable and know that everybody is going to be okay. And let's be honest, you know, power slappers aren't as physically you know, fine-tuned as UFC fighters are. So, yeah, it's a lot of trial and error right now, and just at the end of the day, making sure everybody's safe.
And in the UFC, you guys are obviously going to a few more international shows like Perth, and you talked about going to Spain and possibly Africa. Would you try to bring this kind of internationally anytime soon, too?
100%. We're going international in October. We'll be in Abu Dhabi in October.
And then final one for me, the UFC unveiled some new gloves earlier today too. I'm curious, what do you make of the new product and the rollout with those?
Yeah, we love it. We've been working on this for a long time. We're excited to finally have these. You know, the amount of these guys. All the media they're going to put on a huge presentation for you guys about the gloves.
We did it today.
Huh? Oh, you did it today. Well, you already know all the answers about you. You fucking know more than I do probably now.
I want to know what
well. Yeah, I mean, we've been working on this for a long time, and, you know, again, we hope that all the money and the time and the hard work that went into this will, you know, fights have to play out now, and you have to see how the gloves work in an actual fight, and hopefully they do everything they were designed to do, which is make the gloves obviously more comfortable, less hand cramping, hands in a position where there's less eye pokes, all the sewing on the sides of it that'll stop cuts. I mean, this thing was designed really well. So, and I love how we have a different glove for every different, you know, whether it's tough or the Contender Series, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we're happy, we're excited, and now we just need the data to show that all this money, time, and energy was worth it.
It seems like you kind of did some test runs on the Contender Series secretly. How'd you pull that off without kind of letting anyone know?
Yeah, so when you start to put the gloves together, they have to be tested. And the only real way to test the glove that's going to be fought in is to do it in a fight. So they worked it out so they were able to let some of the guys use them. They got feedback from them. They made some changes. They had fighters training with them, down at the BI, sparring with them, and you know, they took all the input from all the athletes, and now we have the final product. Now they will really be tested in legit combat. Good? Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
Austin, congratulations on the win, but I got to ask you, I mean, 17 pounds on the weight. I mean, how did that happen?
So, you know, it was a life just threw a lesson at me, you know. So I had to, I didn't do, you know, I didn't make weight. So there's no excuses about it, you know. 17 pounds is 17 pounds.
Were you not feeling well? Was there anything, or was it just, hey, the weight's not coming off and you gave up, or what was it?
I mean, I just, yeah, wasn't feeling well. Yeah.
So how do you probably were standing in the back and heard Dana say, you know, you got to be more professional and that type of thing. You could be sitting here with a championship. You had predicted you were going to beat him. You did beat him, but now it's tainted because of the weight thing. So how does that make you feel, knowing that you could be sitting up there with the belt and getting all this praise, and instead, you know, you kind of get criticism on the other side of it?
Well, I'm used to criticism, and if you know, ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a good Christmas. So, you know, I fucked up. It is what it is, and I have nothing to be really too proud about. You know, in my head, this was a big mistake. I take it very seriously, and I came up short. There's no excuses. I'm thankful Ronda took the match. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I apologize to everybody. You know, it's not something that'll be seen again by Turp Daddy Slim.
Austin, let's talk about the fight itself. What was different than the last time? Because it seemed like that first knockdown, from that point, he wasn't himself. What did you do different, even though outside of the fact that you didn't make weight? What was different in terms of how you look? You looked more dominating than you did in the previous meeting with him.
Thank you, sir. I hit him, bruh. I hit him. You know, the first match, there was a few things in my head that were throwing me off as far as targeting go and placement. So I was trying to adjust to the beard the first match, and it fucked with me a good bit. And then even the first slap, this first round, this match, you know, it still got me a little bit, but I was more in tune on what I needed to do and just hit that motherfucker.
Dana made mention about the story that Kev wrote about you and just how the last year has changed you in this sport. And maybe that could have done something too when your lifestyle changes, right? It kind of gets your head a little bit. The chat that he had with you in the back, was it the change in the lifestyle? Did you become a little more comfortable? And when Dana pulls you aside in the back, is it even more of a wake-up call, like, I got to take this serious?
100%, man. The diet has started now. Very serious, very serious. Like I said, you will not see that again from Turp Daddy Slim. You will see another motherfucker like Ronda get put to sleep, though. If they want to throw me with whoever, they're going to take a nap. So, bottom line, that's it. 205 pounds. And Miss Amy, sorry.
That's okay. This is your stage, not mine.
I'd love to share with you. It's all good.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, what was the conversation with Ron when it happened, when you realized that the weight wasn't going to come off? Did you guys talk at all, either before the match or after, about everything that went down?
We did. I thanked Ron for him taking the match. You know, I was super grateful for him to do that. So we kind of just we shared a few words that, you know, could have got worse than it did. You know, things got a little hot that, you know, nobody saw, but we ended up walking away from each other and everything's cool, you know. So I think my respect for Ronda has definitely went up, you know, 100%. You know, he's a good warrior. He's a good, you know, good slap fighter. He's a, you know, he's been doing this for a long time. So I've got to give him some kudos to that. But if they put me up against him, it's going to be the same thing. So whoever they want to put me up against, you know, better bring him a pillow and a blanket.
Dana did say it looks like it's going to be a trilogy, so...
Come on, bring it on. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Would you ever entertain fighting him at different weights, now that you guys have kind of seen how it could change with different weights? Would you consider doing maybe a catch weight or something different?
Whatever Miss Erica says. Miss Erica calls my phone and says, this is what you're going to do, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm open to anything. If he wants to, let's say maybe he wants to keep on some weight, and if he wants to use that as an excuse as to why this happened, whatever it may be, you know, I'm just here to slap a motherfucker. You know, I'm a part of power slap, and that's what I come to do. Power slap somebody.
Thank you.
Over here. Congratulations on the win. Did you expect this to be a war of attrition? Like, did you expect that you were going to get into his head, you were going to stand there, and you were going to pretty much go toe-to-toe with him, take his best shots, and not only physically but mentally break him? Or was that part of the game plan?
Well, they don't got they got metal detectors at the front door, so you're not going to sneak in a baseball bat. So I ain't worried about what he's got. And no, I didn't think it was going to, that first match, I missed him the first 3 times. And then when I put my hands on him, he started dancing. And then this time he fell to the ground. So I knew it was going to happen.
And moving forward, how active do you want to be? When do you want to fight next?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'd like to. If they can do a power slap before the UFC 300, I'd love to start it off right before Cody Garbrandt.
And I asked, last question from me, I actually asked Dana White if he was open to celebrity crossovers, considering that UFC, boxing, and, you have WWE. Who would you like to slap?
Anybody but Will Smith, man. He's got a fucking hammer on him, dude. You seen what he did to Tuck?
I did see it.
So I'm just going to stay as far away from that guy as I can. I don't want to get the haymaker put on me.
Still the man. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Dana was also in here and you said that he spoke about the plan of going out of Las Vegas for more power slap events. So is there a specific location that you want to be headlining one day?
Come on, bro. The Swamp. Bring the slap stage to the Swamp. That's where I want it. I'll have the crowd full of gators and rattlesnakes and all the mosquitoes any of you guys want. I swear, come to the Swamp. I'll get you guys right. Thank y'all.
Well, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling really good. Feeling comfy. It's a nice match.
Did it go the way you thought it would?
It lasted a little longer than I thought it would, but once I found that groove, it was over.
Were you watching the other matches before you came out and seeing all of the fouls? Were you worried about that maybe going into your match at all?
I was a little worried looking at all these matches, and I know Ryan had, a little bit of history. He had a stepping penalty and almost a second one in his last match. So I knew there was a little bit of risk going into that, but, that just plays in my favor if it did go to decision.
I know you and I talked a little bit about the rules and things like that, before this. Seeing all those fouls, what do you think that needs to be done to kind of help those fouls not happen so often?
I think we need to just start actually providing some training for these guys that are coming in and really hammering down the rule set. A lot of these guys just need proper coaches and just form teams and really work together to build this sport because, pride will get you only so far. You got to work together to really build this sport and build this thing. This is only event 7. If you want this to get to 100, all the fighters need to work together and keep building us all up.
You guys had a little bit of a heated face-off. What was that like for you?
It was a new experience for me. I'm a pretty chill guy, pretty mellow, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to let it out a little bit.
And last one for me, is there somebody you have your eye on or anybody that excites you at this point?
Honestly, I'd love to fight Dwayne just to test his chin. I know he has one of the toughest chins in the league right now, so I'd really like to be the one to crack it. And then Dwayne, because I know me and him are best friends, but he's been plotting on my ass since our last match, so I'd love to, run it back with him.
Damian, when you said you found your groove, what changed? What did you do differently that you didn't do in the first couple rounds?
He just hit me hard enough that really, woke me up. So, just after a while, you know, you start feeling what's right, what's working, how to hit them that's really going to bring out the effects that you want. So it just took a little while to find that button, but once I found it, it was over.
When you saw how long he was down, did you feel like you hit him that hard? Because you know, usually guys get up and they're wobbly. He was down and out for a while.
I definitely feel like I hit that hard. You know, I've talked about it. I've been training for the past 6 months since I knocked out Nate to get another knockout, because that's always been my goal, is just to keep getting knockouts and keep progressing in the sport.
Damien, you mentioned to Amy about how the competitors need to be maybe get some better training, get everyone on the same page. But at the same token, did you watch the whole card? Mm-hmm. Early on, there was a match where the very first 2 slaps, he was called for flinching.
Yeah.
If you watch the 3rd and 4th slaps, he flinched harder than he did in the first 2, and it wasn't called. How much consistency do we need from the referees?
Not to step on anyone's toes, but I would like to see some more consistency on the calls. There's been a lot of times where one person will get called for stepping, and then another fighter will do something that to me seems more egregious and would, you know, call for a penalty, and it slides on through. So I know I trust the refs. You know, they're great guys. They're doing everything they can, but I would like to see some consistency in the calls.
Damien over here. We see some of these other slappers have some unorthodox or just huge windups to try and get maximum power. But when we see someone like you, it's kind of like a relaxed windup, but yet it ends up being more powerful than some of these guys. So what do you attribute that to?
It took me a really long time to figure out my windup and figure out how I wanted to slap. It's just taking things from every single fighter and adding it together and just finding what worked for me. I feel like every fighter in this sport has their own specific slap that'll work best for them, just fits their body type more, something that feels more comfortable, but at the same time uncomfortable, because if you're slapping someone and you feel comfortable in the motion, then you're probably not putting 100% in it.
Right, and you said that Dwayne and you are like best friends, but so we see guys on the other side of the world in MMA say, I don't want to fight my teammate or a friend, but in your case, I mean, how would it feel slapping someone you would call like a best friend?
I mean, me and Ryan are good friends. You know, we're just not as good friends as me and Dwayne have become, because we've just been talking ever since we fought each other. But, you know, me and Ryan are good friends, but it's the competitiveness. You know, I love to compete with my friends. It pushes me to be better, pushes them to be better, and that's all we really need to be working on.
Last one for me. Last time we had you here, you mentioned about your law school plans. So how are those going, and anything new?
This is definitely going to help for me saving up for it. So, you know, it's just another step in the right direction. Every time, every match, just working hard, and hopefully I'll get there one day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.